Good evening everyone and welcome to Gavra Racing Clio Cup Round 6 here at Sportsland Sugo. I'm totally new to this track. I'm not however new to the commentary box. I'm James Head 14 and I'll be taking you through the action once again here in Clio Cup for tonight. We've currently got 13 drivers going to be competing. Sorry, 12 drivers competing. Gavra and King Quinn hosting the lobby and me streaming obviously, and Gavra obviously going to be watching on alongside. And we have got about a minute till the start of the race, so you join me in the lobby currently. And that means I can get the standings up for the Clio Cup Championship, and Bessar leads the way with 113 points from Led the Iron in second on 98, Randalux in third on 91, then Steve Boldham in fourth on 90, very close between those top four, 23 points separating. Pure Drive in 5th on 67, Duke Martin in 6th on 62, Lek in 7th on 54, Matteo in 8th on 52, Two-Stroke Germany in 9th on 47, and we'll be serving an LLP 3, which is, I will confirm that in a second, King Quinn in 10th on 46, GJDM in 11th on 28, Big Smokes Cheese on 24 and 12th, Motormouth in 13th on 23, then there's a tie for 14th with Percy and Manic on 22, and Jukebox Hero on 19 points down at the back of the field. The team standings is as follows as well. Italian Clio Racing, that's Bessar and Matteo, 165 points. Led in Germany Racing, Led the Iron and Two-Stroke Germany on 145. We are about to get started here for the race. We've got about 50 seconds to go, so that'll be enough time to complete this. BM Racing in third on 137 points. CRCP Racing, by the way that was King Quinn and Randalux. CRCP Racing in fourth, that's Motormouth and Steve Boldham on 113 points. G-Duke Racing, Duke Martin and GJDM on 90 points. Then a point behind them is Mist Racing, Pure Drive and Percy on 89, WDE Motorsport, Big Smokes Cheese and Lek on 78 points, and Vane Racing, Jukebox Hero and Manic on 41 points. So there is Sportsland Sugo, 2.42 miles in length. We've got a 15-minute free practice session, 5-minute qualifying session, and a 20-lap race to unfold out on track. 9 turns around here. This is a track I've never seen before in my life. I think I've driven it once or twice, and I'm very, very new, let's just say it, to this track. So don't get me wrong if I get mixed up with corners and whatever else, because I'm totally new to this track. But let's have a look at the comment section, because I've just seen there is a couple of comments in. Hello Bowie, hopefully you're doing well, and come on Team BM. Team BM is the best. Currently leading the team standings, of course. Currently in third in the team standings, I should say, on 137 points, King Quinn and Randalux. So 15 minutes to unfold in the free practice session. Let me get you up to speedo on the map. Percy has left the session already, but we do have a couple of drivers coming out on track. And GGDM is one of the first out on track. So, looking through his record so far this season, GGDM, he has gained 6 points, 7 points, 6 points and 9 points in the last 4 races. He disconnected from the first race of the season at Donington. 28 points in 11th place at the minute. He's got to try and do a bit better than that to get ahead of Big Smokes Cheese, who I don't see in the lobby at this stage. So that is going to be a positive from his point of view anyways. Just in behind him out on track looks like it might be Led the Iron. He's just coming through the end of Sector 1. And Led the Iron, on the other hand, is in second place on 90 points. On 98 points, I should say. 98 for Led the Iron. Of course, one win to his name. Led the Iron in Catalonia, that was, of course. Second place finish in La Circle Bugatti, and a third place finish last week in Nürburgring Sprint. Some very consistent results now starting to come through for Led the Iron. Not dwelling on his other performances, Zolder, he scored 15 points and Led the Iron. At Donington scored 8 points. So that is the rundown of him. The 98 points is the gap, is the points total that he is on currently. But we are about to get started here in this 15-minute free practice session. It is quite a short track, so expect the lap times here to be sub 2 minutes at least. Has to be around this track. I mean, goodness me. If we were having 2 minutes lap times around here, then goodness me, Gavra Academy would be quicker. But Let the Iron going through turn 1. Got a car coming out the pits ahead of him. Not sure who that is coming out the pits. Let the Iron. Obviously there's a couple of cars ahead of him out on track, but Let the Iron now coming through what is turns 2 and 3, or turns 3 and 4 into the King, just losing the back end slightly there. Jukebox Hero, by the way, is already involved at this lap time due to track limit violations, which is not great at all really from his perspective. But Let the Iron now running down the long straight. This is the longest straight on the track. I think it measures in around 520 metres in length. Let the Iron going down the straight. Now into turn 5. Oh, this is turn 6 in fact. It's flat right-hander. 62 mile an hour being kept through there. I think you can go a little bit quicker through there compared to normal. So Let the Iron now coming through turn 7. End of sector 2. Not sure how he was through there. Now coming through the flat right-hander. Very stylish. Bit of drift going on there from Let the Iron. He's coming around final corner now to finish off his lap. Manic, by the way, 134.1. GDDM with 134.7, 6 tenths. Randalux with a 135.1 there. Let the Iron comes across the line, betters them all by 5 tenths of a second. So Let the Iron clearly on top so far in this free practice session. 4 minutes gone pretty much. And Bessar now puts it to the soul with a 32.3, 1.2 seconds clear. 1.25 seconds clear of the rest of the field currently that have set laps. Looking down the straight, Matteo is on a lap. He also just recently came out of the pits. So Matteo, 4 minutes gone in this qualifying, in this free practice session. Of course, if you're not familiar to the race format here in Gavra Racing, the Clio Cup does run a 15-minute free practice session. Then we do have a 5-minute qualifying session, which around this track is only going to get 3 laps in, I would imagine. Out lap and 2 proper laps. And then for the race is 20 laps out on track tonight. Very short circuit, sharp, snappy racing I think we're going to be seeing here tonight at Sportsland Sugo. Of course it is a Japanese track. I'm not really familiar with this track whatsoever, so I do apologise in advance to anyone that might be an avid fan of Sportsland Sugo. Matteo, by the way, just coming across the line, he sets a 1:33.5, so very respectful lap time there by the Italian. Let's go on board with somebody else then in the meantime, and let's go on board with Percy, who's just been ghosted inside of somebody. Not the prettiest sight you want to see when you come on board with the driver, ghosted in front of another car ahead. But Percy now coming around the final corner. He's been one of the inconsistent ones, I would imagine, this season. Hasn't really been scoring top points. 6 points is the most he's gained from any race weekend. That was a Donington race 1. Percy now coming across the line. He comes across the line, set at 1:38.5, 6.6 seconds off the pace currently. And Randalux, by the way, has gone top. Randalux has gone top. Just clicked on there with a 1:31.9, 4 tenths per second ahead of Bessar. Multimouth is the only one that has not set a time coming through, and you will see on the race feed whenever somebody sets a fastest lap or whenever somebody's time gets invalidated that you will see that come up in the race feed. Multimouth now coming across the line. We are nearly halfway through in this free practice session. Multimouth comes across the line, goes third with a 33.1, so very respectful lap there by Multimouth. Very good lap there actually, 1:33.1. He's about 6 hundredths clear of Let the Iron, who is in 4th at this moment in time. King Quinn, by the way, has just came out of the pits. Let's ride on board with Manic, who's about to come across the line. Another British driver here in Clio Cup. Comes across the line. Does he improve? Yes, he does. He goes 6th. The 1:33.6, and I think Wanderlux has just set a quicker time. He has. He's gone a little quicker. It's only 8 thousandths, but every thousandth makes the difference, I think, around Sportsland Sugo, and Wanderlux is top with a 31.956. More than 4 tenths clear now of the rest of the field. Bessar, Mateo, second and third at this stage. Where is Bessar at on track? He's just coming through turn 2. Now on the run down towards turn 3. Looking good at the minute. Now to turn 4 and 5. Turns 4, 5 and 6 I should say. There's only 9 corners around this track, so I don't know where the 9 corners are from. But hopefully, I think that counts as a kink. That counts as 2 corners. This is a right-hander. That's a corner. This is another right-hander. That's a corner. I don't know where I'm going wrong with my... I can't really count to 9, I don't think, tonight, which is credit because I've just came off the back of another commentary. Quarter of a tenth up is Bessar, on the 10th up. Bessar at the minute, going through sector 1. He's approaching the end of sector 2 now, which is literally the straight and then 2 corners. 2 flat left-handers now. Takes it at 80 mile an hour, 4th gear. Looking very nice and improving even further. It's nearly 2.5 tenths up on his lap, and he's going to lose control of the car. He's done that well. He's done really well to recover that. That is a fantastic recovery by Bessar. That is probably one of the saves of the season, and this is only a free practice session. What a recovery by Bessar. What a recovery that is. He's probably lost all amount of his time there. We'll see him coming across the line, see if he can improve. If he does improve, it's credit to him. And he doesn't improve in the end, but what a save that was. Absolutely fantastic. Lap time invalidated for Bessar because of his antics going off track and trying to recover the car, and there you see him Tokyo drifting through turn 2 there. Goodness me. Let's go on board with somebody else then. Motormouth is improving. 10th and a quarter up on his personal best, which is currently a 32.8. Of course, this free practice session is just a real experience for the guys to get out on track and to learn the track and to learn the car and how they handle around the track. Doesn't really impact on qualifying, because normally what we've seen this season, the trend is qualifying has been quicker than free practice, so these times may not be the finishing times at all. Motormouth across the line, more than a 10th and a half improvement. He goes third with a 32.7, and he's happy with that because he's gone off track. Back on board then with Duke Martin. Let's try on board with him through the left-right kink. On the run up towards the double right-hander, and then onto the very long straight to end off sector 1. Sector 1 around here is quite technical. Sector 2 not really technical, and sector 3 even less technical because there's only 2 corners separating the first sector split, then the end of the straight, and then the left-hander coming out into the second sector split, and then there's another 2 corners left, and then the flat right to end off the lap. So really, sector 1 is the only technical part of this track. So check on board with the comment section, see what you're commenting in. Hello to Billy in the comment section. Hello to Billy, hopefully you're doing well tonight. 5 minutes to go in this free practice session. Obviously, hopefully we're not going to get any connection issues or whatever tonight. My connection has been playing up absolutely fine for streaming in another mini league tonight. It looks like Duke Martin was drifting over towards the pit line there to try and come in the pits, but he's not. Duke Martin comes across the line. No improvement, 3 tenths down in his lap there. So he's setting consistent laps around the late 133s, early 134s at this stage in free practice. Jukebox Hero, by the way, has just came across the line. He improves only 3.5 tenths. Got damage to that car, he has. Jukebox Hero. Started off the season quite strongly, actually, Jukebox Hero. By scoring 5 points in Donington and then 4 points in Catalonia. And then it's all really went sort of downhill from there. He's never really impacted on, say, for example, the top 5 or even the top 10, I would say, in his races. Which is a shame, because I think he's a very talented driver. He just needs to... He's at the bottom of the standings at the minute. There needs to be a performance from him, I think, that just makes him go, wow. He just needs a little bit of luck, I think, as well. 19 points currently. If he doesn't disconnect or anything like this, he is improving by 700ths on this lap as well. We'll keep an eye on this. But in general, the top 4 are starting to run away with it in the standings. Bessar on 113, at the Iron on 98, Randalux on 91, Steve Boredom on 90. And just to come on to the LLPs, by the way, Steve Boredom should be coming out on track very soon. The licence level penalties, practice ban for Steve Boredom, so that's probably why he's not out on track, and a practice ban and a qualifying ban for Two-Stroke Germany. Two-Stroke Germany is not in this session. Maybe he's thinking he can get in just before the race. That's where I think he might be playing his cards a little bit. But both of them have got LLPs. Jukebox Hero, by the way, just improving by 200ths of a second there. 2.5 minutes left to go in this free practice session. Lek is now out on track. 25.6 seconds off Randalux's time. He should improve on that. Guarantee you he will improve on that. Just needs to learn the track and get some running in very late on. And hopefully he wasn't having his dinner or anything there. Was Lek. But now coming through. Double right-hander onto the straight to end Sector 1. The Monster Energy car. And Lek already 11.6 seconds up, so you know he's going to improve already. He must have invalidated. No, he did invalidate, so don't know what happened with Lek. Maybe just getting a banker and then trying to see where his pace is coming through. He is in the Hamilton car. Don't be disturbed, that is not Lewis Hamilton's car, and it doesn't look anything like his F1 car whatsoever. And Lek, oh, just attacking that a little bit too much. Sliding out the back end. Oh, we're going to see it. Oh, we see a spin. Into the wall goes Lek. Very soft impact there, actually, by Lek. He's got to wait for the drivers in behind. He should be free to go after this guy gets past him. And he's going to start the car up and get the revving engines on. There we go. And Lek is back underway. Not improving. Duke Martin has just popped up into 8th with a 33.3. And it is a very close session. 1.5 seconds separating the top 9 here in free practice with around a minute to go. Randalux on top with a 31.9, but Bessar has just improved to a 32.1 in second place. We missed the end of his lap there, but it's a 32.1 from Bessar. A very good lap there by the Italian, the championship leader by 15 points going into tonight. He's got to try and outscore Let the Iron, Randalux and Steve Boredom, all in the same goal to extend his championship lead here tonight. And I really hope that he might falter tonight and let the other guys start to catch up a little bit. But we're at Sportsland Sugo tonight, 20 laps around here. Then we're off to New Zealand, a completely different part of the world, for Ruapuna Park, the Grand Prix layout. That's where we are next week. Laguna Seca, Willow Springs and Sonoma Short, we're finishing off with the American round right at the end of the season. So that is what people will be expecting from us in Clio Cup. As the clock runs down now to end the free practice session, hopefully everything will go well in the transition period between now and qualifying. And of course, 5-minute qualifying, everyone's got to try and get out within the first minute, I think, of qualifying to get 2 decent laps in. They've got to try and get 2 decent laps in and commit themselves to setting those laps. They don't want to be faltering, and you don't want to be Steve Boredom, who's picked up a practice ban, obviously, and you don't want to be Two-Stroke Germany, who's also picked up a qualifying ban. Not sure if he's going to be showing up tonight. Hopefully he does. Bessar just coming across the line. We are about to see everyone that come across the line go to mouth. Manic coming around the final corner will be the last one to complete this free practice session. And once he is completed, we are ready to go for qualifying here at Sportsland Sugo. So just waiting on Manic now to come across the line. Not sure if he's improving. 33.3 is his current best. Only 300th off GGDM. Comes across the line. He does improve ahead of GGDM by about 400ths of a second there. Practice session over. Randalux top. Bessar second. Let the Iron third. Then Multimouth, Matteo, Manic GGDM, Duke Martin, King Quinn, Jukebox Hero, Percy and Lek. Lek did improve, by the way, after his spin. 19.4 seconds off the pace. But Randalux on top as we end this free practice session and go, hopefully, into qualifying any second now. So the Italians filling out the first 2 and Let the Iron in third. Big championship contenders up there in the top 3 in free practice. Let me check on Bubba's comments as we wait for qualifying to kick in. Hopefully the lobby is not crashed or anything. Motormouth is looking solid. Steve Borden typing, by the way, straight from the pit lane. Such a shame that you were missing out on that practice session, and hopefully qualifying does go well for you out on track tonight as we are waiting. So what we're waiting on, I don't know who we're waiting on, but we should be getting qualifying underway. I don't have to do anything. There we go. Just as soon as I say that, I think we might have been ready to join the lobby or to thingy, but we have now got qualifying underway. 5 minutes, remember, so it's going to be short, sharp and snappy here tonight. Matteo is the first to come out on track. Oh, well placed with him there to come out on track. GDDM as well coming out in behind. So the Italian, Matteo, first out on track, and we're going to focus on him first, as hopefully we will see all drivers setting a lap time. Steve Borden has just came out on track, by the way. I'd like to focus on him in this qualifying session to see where he lies with the top 3 in the standings at this stage. Will he be up there? Hopefully he will be around this track. But put in your predictions for qualifying if you do want to, of course. Top 3 and the driver to look out for is what I'm looking for in the comment section. I'm going to predict the top 3 by saying Randalux will go pole. I am going to go for Bessar second and Steve Borden for third. That is my top 3. And a driver to watch out for this session, possibly Duke Martin. I think Duke Martin might do well around here. I also think Motormouth could do quite well in this qualifying session. So watch out for those two for sure. But Matteo is about to start a lap of Sportsland Sugo, coming through turn 9, which is the flat right-hander. Can lift off a little bit, take a wide out entry and deep into the apex to get the run up the hill. Cars really struggle to actually gain speed coming up the hill. They'll dip down into turn 1. Matteo now coming across the line to start his lap. Gavra is the only one in the pits. Everyone out on track. Quite a cluster of cars coming down the straight, but Matteo coming through turn 1. Just misses the apex slightly there, but nails it. Through the apex at turn 2. Just losing the back end slightly. Looking good. Quite an elevation change here. Randall looks a set of 142.9. I'm not sure if that was a committed lap or not. He's only just came out of the pits, hasn't he? He must have done. Well, strange anyway. It's counting his time for some reason. Oh, we see somebody going off in the background there. Might have been, don't know who it was, off in the background. But Matteo coming through the end of sector 1. And it's definitely going to be counting Randalux's time, a 42.9, so I'm not sure why Randalux's time has came up when he was on an outlap. That was strange. Well, Matteo, with just over 2 minutes to go, this qualifying session does end up pretty quick, and Matteo just missing the apex there, now coming through turns 7 and 8, which is this flat left, and then another flat left, the end of sector 2. Looking nice through there. Keeping it within the white lines. You can over-race that curb a little bit. Wide out entry and deep in, I think, is what Matteo's approach is going to be. Slight drift on the back end coming to the final corner. Now running at less speed, actually, compared to his outlap. 95 mile an hour coming out of the final corner. He's now going to floor it to the line. Gears it up to 5th. What's the lap time going to be for Matteo? He's about to come across the line now. And it is a 32.9. That's a very competitive lap time there. Bessar is in amongst these cars. GDDM has gone second. Randalux is third with that very fake lap time. 31.4 for Bessar though. He sets the standard at this stage. Duke Martin is coming around the final corner now to set a lap. Steve Borden, by the way, is 6th with a 34.0. So his practice ban really affecting him, I think. Well down in qualifying early on. But Duke Martin, with about a minute to go, Duke Martin comes across the line, goes 9th with a 35.7, not a great lap. Percy goes ahead of Jukebox Hero there as well. Manic is just coming through turn 2, and King Quinn is just ahead of him on track. Both of them, I think, must have had invalidations on their lap time, which is a shame really. But Bessar's top, Randalux second, and Motormouth in third. I did say Motormouth was going to be the ones to watch in this qualifying session, and a 32.6 puts them up in third. But top 2, who are in fact first and third, I do believe, in the standings, Yep, first and third in the standings, Bessar and Randalux topping the timing sheets at the minute. Focusing on King Quinn though, they're only going to get one more lap, these guys, coming out of the final corner. We're right on board with Multimath, he's improving 2.5 tenths, he's ran into the gravel there, trying to do a bit of, try and get a sandwich I think out there with those tyres. Might have been like the new Tiger Woods, but Multimath coming around the final corner. He is gaining the speed, he's got a car ahead of him, should be improving here. GDDM goes third, that could be a shock third for him. Multimath better come across the line, qualifying is now complete, they race across the line. Multimath doesn't improve, but Randalux does, he sets to 31.2. What can Bessard down do? He's into the pits, he's done. So it looks like Randalux has stolen this. Where's Steve Borden went? He's fourth with a 32.2. And Lek is third with a 32 point flat. We're getting the final cars now coming across the line. Duke Martin's going to be one of the final ones to come across the line. He should be improving here, I will imagine. Duke Martin does improve slightly, but doesn't improve his position. Qualifying is now over. Everyone, I think, has to return to the pits to enable us to go on to the race. But qualifying over, and Randalux is top. From in second place in Bessar, Lek is in third. Or have we got another driver out on track? I think we've got GDDM actually still out on track, trying to go for another lap. I think he must have just got in just before the timing ended. The GDDM is going round on track. He's the final one to complete. He's 2 tenths down on his lap at the minute. He could improve through the final sector, which is literally 2 corners. This is turn 9. Taking a very deep line through. Going wide on exit, that's what you don't want to be doing, and that's how you don't do that corner. He's off into the grass, he's off into the gravel. That is his qualifying over, and that is the qualifying session indeed over. And I'll run you through the order. Randalux, Bessar and Lek, top 3. Steve Borden in 4th, GDDM in 5th, Multimath in 6th, who was 3rd. Had the iron, disappointing qualifying session from his point of view, 1.5 seconds off the pace. Mateo, King Quinn, Manic, Duke Martin, Jukebox Hero, and Percy is the top 13. In qualifying, and that is qualifying over. Again, as I said, short, sharp and snappy qualifying. The 20 lap race now about to get going as we wait for everyone to ready up and to sink into the session. Hopefully everyone is enjoying the action so far as being provided to them by myself, James Head 14, for those of you who are not aware of who I am. Everyone just sinking in. We have just lost somebody from the grid, which I think was Gavra, and that is why there's cars now sinking in out on track, and there's a massive spaz glitch going on in the pit lane. Just ignore that and just focus on Randalux, who is on pole, from Bessar in 2nd, Lek in 3rd. Hopefully we've got no issues going on tonight. But I'm just going to message somebody quite quickly before we start. I will be back with you in about a minute. And just like that, I am back. And we've still got the same cars spazzing in the pit lane. My top 3, by the way, for this 20 lap race here at Sportsland Sugo, I am pretty much going to go a similar top 3 to what it is. I'm going to go Bessar for the win. I am going to go for Steve Borden for 2nd. And I'm going to go Let the Iron for 3rd. I think Randalux might just struggle here tonight. But the light sequence is coming on here at Sportsland Sugo. Round 6 of the championship is underway, and a much better start there from Bessar as they run down towards turn 1. It's Randalux who will lead, but Bessar might have this inside line now going into turn 1. We'll see under the braking zone into turn 1. Bessar has got the inside. Randalux gives him space around the outside. He's trying to hold it all the way around the outside, and that is flat out from Randalux, and what a move that is to regain the lead of the race. Randalux has got past Bessar off the lead of the race. Steve Boulden's already up to third. Leck has dropped off, and Steve Bolden cannon it down the inside. He wants to make up for lost time there, driving a little bit over aggressively, and now it's just let Randalux get away out in front. Relatively all clean in behind, I do believe. Everyone is fine through there. There is a bit of contact. Leck and Motormouth having a little bit of a moment, and it looks like Motormouth is dropping down the field, as is Leck. But Randalux at the end of sector 1 on lap 1 leads the way. It's a second gap at the minute. Steve Boulden in second. I would just say he's got to give up that position to Bessar, just because I thought it was a bit of an over-aggressive move. And Bessar currently in third. We've got action on further down the field. It's Kinquin and Motormouth, I think, further down the order. Looks like Motormouth trying to aim for the move here. Do apologise about this shocking camera angle. Somebody is off into the gravel. That looks like it is Leck. Leck is off again into the gravel. And at the minute, Randalux leading 7/10 of a second. As we approach the end of lap 1, Randalux leads, Steve Boulden is in second, and Bessar currently sitting in third place out on track. And these three have pulled away 4 seconds the gap pretty much to let the Iron, who's in fourth. Top 4 of the standings, as you see it, are on your screen right now. And Randalux, Steve Boulden and Bessar are just 3 out of those top 4 in the standings. As, in fact, Matteo was going to dive it down the inside here. Matteo gets the move done on the Iron and he loses a position. That's could be costly for him in the end of this race. Kinquin just losing it slightly. Manic, Motormouth on the back of this as well. All pretty much clean from what I saw anyways on the end of lap 1, as Led, the Iron, has just lost another position because Kinquin has gone past him, and it looks like Motormouth and Manic are looking very racy in the background. The Brit trying to get his fellow countryman down the inside, not quite. The end of sector 1 again. It is still Randalux who leads, Steve Boulden in second, and Bessar currently in third place as it stands. We're going to get some very tight action running down the hill into turn 7, or into turn 6 I should say, which is the right-hander. At the Iron, I just come into some sort of pressure from Manic in behind. Manic in fact losing the control of the car, losing control on the curb there, and running wide of it. Randalux leading 1.3 seconds, looks like he's got the gap out, and that gap is extending away. From Bessar in second, Steve Boulden in third. That was Motormouth running very wide in the background there into the gravel, and running wide and through the final corner at the Iron. He's just struggling here tonight to line up with the top 3, who are of course his championship rivals at this stage. End of lap 2. It is Randalux who leads. Until lap 3 we go. We'll focus on board with the leader again. Randalux leads 32-2 last time around, 32-1 for Bessar, and a 33-4 for Steve Boulden. And I think we might have let him through out on track, and if that was the case, thank you very much to him for letting him through. We don't want to be picking up another LLP now, do we, Steve Boulden? But at the minute, Randalux leads with a bit of a decrease in margin here actually. Bessar 6/10 away. Steve Boulden in third. It is looking quite racy in behind. Matteo now in fourth, Kinquin fifth, led the Iron down in sixth. Not many changes further down the order at this stage. But Randalux leading 7/10 of a second. Let's see if there's anything going on in behind. Duke Morton and Jukebox Hero are getting very close, and it looks like Motormouth and GTDM are getting very close here. GTDM now going around the outside of Motormouth down the straight, and he's got that move done. GTDM, ooh, down the inside, Motormouth nearly clips the back end of him. GTDM just had to recover the car there to avoid the curb and going off into the grass and the gravel. He's hanging on in there, and GTDM has got that move done eventually. And he gets past Motormouth, and that is for 8th place out on track. A very good move there. Steve Boulden just losing time. Looks like he might be losing control slightly, and he is losing time to Randalux and Bessar, who are dominating so far out in front. 2 seconds the gap. End of lap 3 there. Of course, I would say at this point the DRS activation is now open, but of course this is not F1. Randalux still leading 4/10 per second. Bessar in second, and then in third is Steve Boulden. So I apologise for the black screens coming up on my left hand side. That is a notification coming up. Somebody running very wide in the background there. We might just have a little bit of a timing glitch going on. Multimouth is into the pits, by the way. Looks like he might be getting lapped soon, actually. If he doesn't come out of the pit soon. That's probably for his damage that he's expected, or a drive-through penalty, which I don't think he will have. 4 tenths to the lead gap. Steve Bourdon running in the world of his own in third. But we'll see how Bessar can try and catch the back end of Randalux. He's looking very racy. He was a 31.6 last time around compared to Randalux's 32.46. You can really quite clearly see the pace difference between these two at the minute, and Steve Bourdon is just losing time to these two. Not having the pace here, he might be falling back towards Matteo and Kingquin, who are further 5 seconds behind at this stage. As we see, who was that going wide? That was Matteo, I think, going miles wide. Or GDDM, one of the two. He went wide. Somebody ran wide there. Goodness me. Tokyo drifting it through the final corner there. We're quarter way through this race. 25% through. I'm not sure if we've got a bit of a desync going on here. But Randalux is leading. And Bessar in second, Steve Bourdon in third. We've definitely got some sort of timing glitch going on my screen, which is fantastic. I will try and deliver the best commentary with this, of course. Don't think there'll be many changes from when they come across the line. Bessar tries to launch it up the inside of Randalux. Not quite. Not quite. Randalux and Bessar looking very racy here. Randalux last time around was about a 1/10.5 quicker compared to Bessar. So Randalux leading. And Bessar in second. First and second have pulled away from Steve Bourdon. If you're just tuning in, he's 3.2 seconds behind Steve Bourdon. And remember, he didn't practice and he didn't do his he did do his qualifying session, and that's what's put him up in 4th place, I do believe, currently. And what happened to Multimouth? Multimouth, I'm unsure what's happened to him. I think he had a bit of contact earlier on. It was coming through this corner we're on board with now. There's a little bit of contact coming through turn 8, so I'm not sure what happened there to him. We'll try and get some sort of feedback from him. And hello to Mads, who was qualified, who was in the comment section as well. Hopefully you're enjoying the action, Mads. Lap 6 out of 20. Randalux leads, Bessar in second. Two very close adversaries out on track. Two enemies, two sworn enemies in the championship battle going at it. And again, I do apologise about this timing glitch that is occurring, and I do believe it might be Percy that might be causing this desync and not me. Guarantee it's not me. But Randalux hanging on in there. It's 3/10 the gap. Bessar not really trying to attack him currently through the right hand as they go, and he's not close enough this time around. Lek has picked up a penalty, probably a 2nd or 2-second penalty there for Lek, and he is the first one to pick that up tonight. There's Steve Bourdon in the background, 4.1 seconds off. But Randalux leading. Just beginning to pull away, by the way. Led the Iron is beginning to pull away from Kingquin and Manic, who are the two drivers in behind, separated by around 1.5 seconds each way. And then we've got another cluster of battles from Matteo all the way down to Lek, and then Percy's going around by himself pretty much at the back. Bessar though, trying to close in, through turn 9 they go. Lap 7 about to begin. And it's still Randalux who leads. He's been out in front since flag fall. Bessar got the better run on him coming off the start, going down into turn 1, but Randalux hanging it around the outside with a fantastic move to regain the lead of the race. And he's keeping that steady at 4/10 per second at the minute. Bessar is second down on his personal best. Matteo has disconnected from the session, which is unfortunate. 11 drivers going around out on track now, and that just shoves people up a position from wherever Matteo was. Randalux though hanging on in there. Bessar in second, and of course if you are new to Clio Cup, this is a championship battle that's going on between these two. Randalux currently third in the standings, Bessar currently first in the standings. 113 points for Bessar, and I think it's 90. Oh, and as he tries to launch it down the inside again, trying to every odd lap, I think. Bessar trying to the move down the inside. It might just bring Steve Bourdon slightly closer to these guys in behind. Not quite. Let the Iron is pulling away from King Quinn. They're just beginning to spread themselves out in behind. We do, however, have a little bit of a battle going on for 8th, which is GTDM and Jukebox Hero, who could be scoring his biggest point score of the season so far. Jukebox Hero down at the bottom of the standings on 16 points. So Jukebox Hero having a gain. Percy running wide there in the background. Right at the background of shot with Solo car that's running around in the back. 8 seconds off Lek, who's just going through camera shot in the background there. So they come out the final corner to start lap 8 out of 20. Nearly halfway through here at Sportsland Sugo, round 6 of the Clio Cup Championship. And it is what you expected, really. Top 3, or 3 out of the top 4 in the standings. Randall Bessa and Steve Boredom filling out top 3 positions, and led the Iron as well. So the top 4 in the standings and at the top 4 positions, but really in the wrong championship order. Randallux just caught the curb there. Just got caught on the curb, nearly tossed the car into the air slightly. Just over the rest of the curb. Bessar now, a bit of a slow exit from Bessar, just losing a little bit of time. 5.5 tenths coming into the flat right-hander. Bessar again, just trying to put Randallux under pressure. I think Randallux now, though, is beginning maybe just to lose his bottle slightly, because Bessar 3 tenths away. DRS activation, of course, would be at this point if this was F1. But Randallux leading 2.5 tenths. Bessar, is he going to try and launch it? He's sticking to his line. He's going to try and launch it down the inside. Randallux scores for a Tokyo drift through turn 6. And Randallux hanging on in there. And Bessar in second place, 3 tenths separating, and it's just going to be constant close racing between these two. Looking further down, there's not really much going on in terms of the timings yet. But Randallux leading 3 tenths of a second, and Bessar is in second. And Steve Boredom running solo in third at the minute. Led the Iron, pulled 2 seconds away from King Quinn as well. Sportsland Sugo is a lovely track. It's such a lovely track that I don't think I've ever commentated around this track before. I've never commentated around this track before. As Bessar tries to see an opportunistic move down the inside. We saw Randallux just losing the back end there, coming through turn 1, which was a very rare mistake, I've got to say, from Randallux. And again, he just likes drifting out that back end. And the back end in these cars do kick out. If you get a bit of oversteer, you can spin these cars quite easily. They're so easy to control, these, that they might just spin the car. The Randallux now has to look behind him, because Bessar is an ever prominent threat in behind. And I mean, he's only 2.5 tenths off him running down the straight. He is closer this time than he was last lap around. Is he going to go for the move? I would expect him to. Bessar's got to be very late on the brakes if he wants this. He's just warning him though, just saying I'm there. And Randallux still hanging on in there, and just getting a little bit of time coming out of turn 6, now through turn 7 and through turn 8. 8 tenths down his personal best. Bessar was quicker last time around with 32.4. We'll see what they do coming across the line here. As I say, nothing much happening. Duke Martin has had some moment out on track. He's now dropped to the back of the field down in 11th. Halfway through though, in the Clio Cup, and Randallux leads with an ever decreasing margin, because Bessar is keeping him very on edge and on his toes at the minute. Bessar just getting a very poor run, and that's going to give Randallux a bit of an advantage now coming out of turn 2. Randallux 4 tenths clear. Bessar just get caught on the grass slightly there, Randallux. And now on to lap 10. So we're halfway through here in Clio Cup. 20 lap race, of course, if you're unfamiliar with what is happening out on track. And if you've just joined us, you've missed free practice and qualifying, so why don't you go and watch that back a little bit later on and just watch the race now. More views equals a very happy James. Randallux though, just getting caught in the grass slightly again. Bessar is close, 2 tenths of a second. Now if this was F1, he'd be going for the move with the DRS and KERS. Now he is down the inside, late on the brakes. Bessar, he wants to go for this. Really close to contact there, but my God, how on earth they did not touch there was just credit to how good these two actually are. Randallux and Bessar nearly making contact. Bessar on the back end of Randallux there, trying to go for the move at the inside. Didn't quite manage it. As we're about to start lap 11. And again, Bessart is getting closer. He's having a bit more speed coming out of the final corner. He's within the slipstream. 2.5 tenths away coming across the line. Just fantastic battling going on between these two. These two really start battling. Steve Bowden could come back into this quite easily. As I now begin to struggle with my commentary, Randalux leads 3 tenths per second. Pulling away now, Bessart. Randalux just having a bit of a twitch there. Bessart could see it. Down the inside. Not quite. Let's take it from an onboard point of view here with Bessart and see how close he really does get down the straight. Let's ride on board with him for now and let's listen to the engine noises that these cars produce. Beautiful engines, these Renault Clios, as they run through Sector 1. Bessart not really getting any closer this time around. Don't think he'll commit it down the inside. Now into the braking zone. You can see the elevation change from this onboard perspective. Bessart cut in the corner slightly. Go back on board then with trackside. And Randalux hanging on, 5 tenths of a second. Just staying very on edge at the minute, I would say, is the best way to describe this race so far between these two. We have lost... Oh no, we've lost Lek losing the position to GTDM further down the field. So GTDM, I think, lost the position, then got back at him. So GTDM now up to 7th again, passing Lek further down the order. But this stage in the race, it's Randalux 5 tenths in front. Bessart in second on lap 12 out of 20, so we're nearly 3/4 the way through here in the Clio Cup. I'm going to check the comments while we ride on board with this battle. So I'll see what you guys are saying in the comment section tonight. Let me have a look. This is more fun than most of my GT4 races. This is definitely more fun than your GT4 races. The Clio Cup's just short, sharp, snappy racing, as I said earlier on. This really does bring a good championship together, and thank you of course to Gavra. Has to go to Gavra for organising this, for mainly the Gavra Academy guys who get to show their stuff in completely different championships, which is absolutely fantastic. But currently these two dominating. Steve Bowden, if he'd got better pace, obviously he'd be trying to close these down. 4.7 seconds off. It's just very tame at the minute, his effort to try and close these down. In fact, he could be losing time to Let the Iron, who is still 9.5 seconds off him. Got a little bit of action going on further down the field, by the way, between Lek and Jukebox Hero for 7th and 8th. GTDM, by the way, is into the pits. We'll see what is happening there. And there he is, and he's about to get lapped here. So GTDM obviously replacing something. I think he's just going to sit there and probably retire the car, as Randalux hangs on in there, drifts it through turn 1, takes a very wide line, but that's a perfect line going through turn 1 and 2. 6 tenths the gap. Randalux extending that advantage out. Bessart though, just watching him out and behind. Oh, very close to the back end. He's just lost a little bit of time. I think the indicator came on there for a second as well for Bessart. He does not want to be indicating on this track because he does lose speed because of that. Lek, by the way, GTDM is back out on track. He's just coming out the pits now, and that looks like it's going to be that is ahead of, I think that is Manic just coming through shot. It is Manic just coming through shot. Get very close again between the top two. Bessart, can he launch it down the inside this time? Very late on the brakes, backs off though going into the corner. Randalux will hang on in there. Wide out line, Bessart taking the deeper line. The wide out line just working for Randalux there, and he keeps that gap at 2 tenths of a second, but it is starting just to get a little bit now desperate, I think, for Bessart. The laps are starting to run out. He's beginning to lose time through this final sector, which I think is going to be very costly to his potential winning chances here. Randalux at the minute, 4.5 tenths clear. Bessart getting a much better run out of the final corner though, gaining a bit more speed, running down the straight. And here we go. Is he going to try and close in down into turn 1? He is, but he's not close enough. This straight is just not long enough to purely try and get the move done. Bessar's got to get this move done through the corners as opposed to on the straight. Unless Rondelux makes a mistake through one of the corners and Bessar can get him down the straight. We'll see the desperation start to kick in, I think. We'll see Rondelux defending hard, but we'll see the desperation now starting to kick in for Bessar. There's Steve Boredom in the background. He's still keeping on us there, 5.6 seconds off. He has lost a little bit of time. Lek and GDDM, by the way, are the only two not to pick up penalties yet. And in fact, Lek has just gone past Percy for position, so that's up to 9th for the German driver. Lek passing Percy, and this is what I mean. Bessar now right down the inside. This is the closest opportunity he's had to taking this lead. Rondelux has got to give him room. Late on the brakes, Bessar for the lead of the race. Parks it beautifully on the apex of the corner. That's a brilliant move by Bessar. He gets the lead of the race. No desperation move at all there. That was clean. That was crisp. That was competitive racing from Bessar. What a move that is for the lead of the race. And now, hopefully, he can begin to pull away. But knowing Rondelux, he will start to come back at these with 6 laps to go. Lap 15 out of 20 is about to begin. So 3/4 of the way through this race here in Clio Cup. Bessar now taking the lead of the race until lap 15. With Rondelux beginning to come back at him. He's just edging that gap away. Is he surely not going to try and move into turn 1? Rondelux, can he be very late on the brakes here? No, he doesn't. Doesn't commit for the move and backs off. What a move that was by Bessar. 3/10 clear of Rondelux coming through turn 2 and 3. We have lost somebody out of the race, and I think that was Lek. I think we've lost Lek out of this race. Yes, we have. We have lost Lek out of this race, which is a shame. But Bessar leading 3/10 per second. Gavra just disconnecting there as well. Hopefully nothing happening with PSN or anything. But Bessar's just beginning to pull away now. Rondelux slightly onto the grass as well, with a compromises run to try and get him. Dear me. But Bessar 4/10 clear. Just missing the apex slightly. Rondelux doing the same. Getting them closer this time, Rondelux. 3/10 off him. Bessar hanging on in there. Rondelux could see an opportunistic move down the inside into turn 8. Not really an overtaking opportunity at all, but he is going to try and go around the outside of turn 9. If he commits this, round the outside Rondelux, this is going to be one of the moves of the season. Rondelux and Bessar side by side, and I think Rondelux is just going to come out on top, is he? And that is one of the most extraordinary moves I think I've ever seen in Clio Cup this season. What a unbelievable move that is. Committing it round the outside of turn 9, the final corner, onto lap 16 they go. Rondelux has got Bessar this time, and that is overtaking the season so far, and it'll take some overtake to try and beat that. Bessar now trying to go down the inside of Rondelux. These two kicking off out in front. This is fantastic stuff for any newbie that is watching Clio Cup tonight. Get yourselves involved, because this is really good. Now Bessar going up towards turn 4 is about to try and get the move done. Backs off though, but Rondelux hanging on in there. Both of these two beginning to battle hard. Steve Boredom just beginning to edge away that gap and was quicker than these two last time around, so watch out for him possibly in a couple of laps time. Who knows? Rondelux, Bessar. Bessar's now trying to go down the inside very late on the brakes. Doesn't commit the move this time. Might just get a little bit desperate, as I said earlier on from Bessar. Might just get a little bit desperate. If he wants to try and move, he's going to try and get it done as he catches the apex there, and that might be the race over surely. Rondelux going wide. Bessar somehow has kept that going and has gained time out of that, turning a negative into a positive. And Rondelux is losing the speed coming out of turn 9. The final corner out on track, and Rondelux is hanging on in there. But for how long? Because I think Bessar is going to come and get a run, possibly down the hill. Turn 3, turn 4 is where you're going to see a possible overtake for Bessar. Rondelux braking slightly early there than Bessar. Lap 17 out of 20, 4 laps to go, and Rondelux is hanging on in there. 0.5 of a second to Bessar. He runs wide. This is the opportunistic move that I'm talking about for Bessar. He tries to launch it down the inside. Vanderlux has the inside covered slightly. Runs wide onto the grass. Bessar now on the back end. 4 laps to go in Clio Cup round 6. And these two, constant battling. They've kept it really clean and competitive. That's what we like to see in Gavra. And these two racers are defending for their lives, especially Vanderlux. He's defending for his life now out in front because Bessar, much better run out of the corner, running down the hill. Out of turn 5 into turn 6. Not going to commit the move there though. Vanderlux runs a little bit wide. Bessar trying to get the deeper run through the corner. Just costs him. Just ran onto the grass slightly. Just costs him a little bit. Vanderlux hopping over the curb there. Not great stuff. Steve Boredom and GDDM are the only two, by the way, that are going around with penalties. And is Vanderlux going to try what Bessar did? What Bessar has done. Man, Vanderlux, round the outside he goes. He's got the traction on the outside of the corner. He's sticking it with him side by side. They go through turn 9. This is fantastic stuff. 3 laps to go. And this is in the melting pot. They make contact and wheel bang down the straight. Both of them are wanting this so much that they're going to try and make contact with each other. It's Vanderlux on the inside line, Bessar on the outside line. Halt around the outside of turn 1. Oh, that is stunning. Vanderlux again down the inside of Bessar. Vanderlux has picked up a penalty now. This is advantage now for Bessar. Oh, and there's contact and Bessar goes round. And Vanderlux, I think, just leaving him short of room there. Hopefully Vanderlux can wait up and provide us with the best battling possible. But Vanderlux just overcooking it slightly, just leaving them short of room. And Vanderlux now, I think in desperation, was trying to defend that position. Bessar now losing control. Hopefully we can see Vanderlux waiting up for Bessar and provide possibly a 3-way battle to the end of this race, with Steve Boredom now getting involved, 4.5 seconds off the lead. Vanderlux, if you're hearing me, wait up for Bessar and provide us with a battle. He probably doesn't want to do that now he's got a penalty, but I think just for fairness and just for clean and competitive racing, we should have that move. And it looks like there's a bit of action going on. It's between Manic and I think this is GDDM coming through. Yeah, so lap car coming through. Vanderlux 2.5 seconds out in front from Bessar. It's a shame that it had to end that way, but the racing on a different level in Clio Cup. Every single race brings something different. And I think, if I'm right in saying, we are going to have Vanderlux winning tonight. And he's going to be the first driver this season to score a second win. We've had 5 different winners. We've had 4 different winners, the racers. Bessar obviously winning the double. Gavra joins back. Right, you've missed a lot. Vanderlux 2 seconds out in front. Bessar though is beginning to attack him. Really beginning to attack him again. If that is a 2-second penalty for Vanderlux, it might be game over because Bessar is getting closer. It could well be game over for Vanderlux. But who knows? 400th improvement for Bessar on his personal best lap. Vanderlux still hanging on. 37.9 last time around with the contact. 36.9 for Bessar. 1.8 seconds going through turn 6. Now up towards turn 7 and 8, which are the 2 left-handers. With penultimate lap, Vanderlux leading. Bessar's just putting it in the gravel slightly. And Vanderlux, did he make a mistake there, or is he beginning to wait up for Bessar? And I really hope it's the latter, because this could still go down to the wire here. If Vanderlux is beginning to struggle here, I fear. And Bessar is in pole position to try and take this win. Just jump on Let the Iron briefly so we can see that Bessar has got no penalties. We're on the final lap of the race here in Clio Cup. What an extraordinary race this has been. Vanderlux is 9/10 clear. It still may not all be over, because Bessar is beginning to attack that car. He is getting closer, a 31.8 compared to a 33.7 last time around. This is not over yet. This is not over yet, and if Bessar can try and recover this, he's recovering it well, and I tell you what, if he recovers this, this could be one of the comebacks of the season. Bessar 4/10 away from Randalux now as they come through the double right-hander onto the straight for the final time. Randalux is hanging on in there. Bessar with a much better one at the corner. He's going to be close on the run down towards the braking zone of turn 6. Randalux hanging on in there. 3/10 the gap. It is still not over yet. Bessar closing in. Not going to go for the move there. It would have been very silly to go for the move there. Randalux running wide. Bessar taking a deeper line. It is boiling to melting pot here. Bessar and Randalux. Randalux just slightly losing the car. Bessar really attacking this. He wants this so much. But it looks like Randalux might get this, you know. Coming across the line in first, that will be. Because Bessar will be getting this race win. They come out the final corner. Randalux is hanging on in there. Bessar takes a much deeper line. Gets the speed out the corner. But Randalux is going to come across the line to win here. I think 50-50 might be an undeserved win. He lets him through, which is fantastic to see. Bessar crosses the line in first. Fantastic sportsmanship there from Randalux. Let him through right at the line. Brilliant stuff. Steve Bowden has finished in third. Let the iron, and King Quinn has snapped at the iron for fourth. I cannot believe it. King Quinn has nabbed, let the iron very late because of a slowdown, that is. King Quinn across the line in fourth. Let the iron in fifth. Getting a slowdown on the final lap of the race. Manic and GDDM are about to come across the line in 6th and 10th respectively. Manic across the line. He's had a very solo race out there in 6th. Jukebox Hero now coming around the final corner. He, in fact, has got Duke Martin all over the back of him. 7th and 8th. It still might all be over. I think Jukebox Hero is just going to get to the line in front compared to Duke Martin coming across the line. 7th and 8th. And we will wait for Percy, who I think has just spun it, actually. Jukebox Hero across the line in 7th. Duke Martin across the line in 8th. There is Percy in 9th. He has just spun the car. He's going to be the final one to come home here at Sportsland Sugo. But my God, what race that was, and the ultimate sportsmanship we've seen there. Randalux letting through Bessar right before the line, deservedly so, and I've got to say, credit where credit's due. Both of them provided with great racing, but credit where credit's due to Randalux. Great sportsmanship. Percy crossed the line in 9th. That is also over for tonight at Sportsland Sugo. It's not a British track, it is a Japanese track. Bessar, though, deservedly takes the win. Randalux with that great sportsmanship act in 2nd. Steve Bowden across the line in 3rd. Both of them having 2-second time penalties. King Quinn in 4th. Led the Iron in 5th. Manic in 6th. Jukebox Hero in 7th. Duke Martin in 8th. Percy in 9th. GDDM in 10th with a 10-second time penalty. Lek retiring the car on lap 13. Finishing 11th. And Motormouth in 12th. And I do also believe we had somebody else, which was Matteo. Hopefully he'll get classified as 13th. But as the racing over for tonight, Sportsland Sugo, we move on to Ruapuna Park next week in New Zealand. That is going to be the Grand Prix layout of that track for next week. But what a thrilling race that was. Don't you all agree? That was absolutely brilliant. So, from me, a very weak and weary James Head 14 with his little voice. Still continuing on there. But brilliant stuff out of the racing tonight. I will leave you with the final remarks. Bessar and Randalux. Different league. Really great racing between both of them. Great sportsmanship shown by Randalux at the end. And I think that comes to show what we want in Gavra. Clean, competitive racing. Fantastic battling for the viewers and for me to commentate on, of course. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, which will be Ruapuna Park next week, it is goodbye.